This example relates to approval of payment certificates. We already created the Microsoft list, which is linked to an appropriate Microsoft form. You can send the link to the requester. Requester will click the link and populate the payment certificate request form. Take a look at this column, which is called reviewed by administrator. That's an important status column that we will discuss a little bit later. And now we will populate all the mandatory fields of the form. This form can include attachments. We'll just demonstrate how any attachments can be included in the form. And clicking any entry in the list, you will see the attachments related to that entry. It's not yet approved by projects, meaning by the requester of the document, and not sent to finance. We trigger the process by sending the form. You can see the item in the list can be created or modified. We are checking that this is the newly created item. It's not yet been reviewed by administrator, and the title is not 0 because the title has been assigned by administrator upon receiving. The title in this case is the identifier for the payment certificate assigned by this administrator. The administrator receives the notification that there are new entries in the list. As you can see, the list has been populated with the new entry. It's still not been reviewed by administrator. And now administrator checks the entry, assigns an ID to this entry, and marks it as reviewed. If we remember, the trigger of our process is when item has been created or modified. Now it is modified, so it is another branch of the condition where we see that it's been reviewed, but not yet approved. The new branch of condition has been activated, and we will wait for approval of this submitted request with dynamic elements like the title and the certificate number, and the link to item can be included in the approval request. Activated. Finally, we received the approval for this request. We can click the link and look at the request and all its attachments. And we approve. Now it's sent for the final approval. Preliminary approval step is ticked. Now it's the next step, which is the final approval. We can have as many approvals as we need. The request for final approval arrived. It looks the same as the preliminary one. So we approve it. The flow has been completed. We're sending an email to finance to approve the payment certificate, and we retain the record for the audit trail. You can see in the list that the statuses columns change, that is, the entry has been approved by project and sent to finance, meaning SVP finance. That's happening automatically as part of this workflow. SVP finance receives this kind of notification with the link. We want to turn your attention to this solution when you can have one trigger and two important steps. First step, with the help of this column called reviewed by administrator, upon triggering the process, you can actually avoid having two triggers. Only one trigger when the item is created, as we already checked. Item has been created, we are checking the condition that it's been created. It's not yet been reviewed, and the title is empty, meaning that administrator haven't processed this item. And now, with the same trigger, we will check if the item has been modified, meaning reviewed by administrator. As you can see, it's been reviewed by administrator, but not yet approved. For that matter, we trigger the approval flow, which will result in communication with SVP Finance and automatic update of the status columns to approved by projects and approved by finance. And we will create the audit trail. That's very important in any workflow, to retain audit trail, which we can also store in SharePoint. Soon we will see how it looks in reality. Let's look at the library where we store the audit trail files. Payment certificates. This is our audit trigger file, all the appropriate data about this approval.